Hi Flameborn, welcome to the first video about the upcoming Update 8. I am François, Community Lead, and here with me today is one of our combat designers, David, to talk about, you'll have guessed it, our plans for combat. Hi David.
Hi everyone, what's up?
So you and Christoph recently showed us a lot of the stuff that's coming for Update 8 and some of the longer term improvements for the release. There's so much, in fact, that we're making 2 videos about this topic. Can you tell us what you're here to talk about?
Yeah, today I'm here to talk about some of the improvements to the combat field itself, as well as some new additions. Christoph will cover changes to the skill tree and progression, and yeah, there will be something to love for everybody in both parts.
Alright, so let's dive into it. Would you like to start with the heavy attacks?
Yes, we are introducing a new type of attack, which is triggered by holding the attack button. It will do more damage and more stamina damage, and also give the player a limited staggering immunity against small enemies.
So that should make it easier to handle groups of enemies, right?
Yeah, but this is more of a 1 versus 1 or a small group oriented attack. I have something specific for AoE and crowd control, if that is what you are looking for. Yeah?
Yes, please.
Okay, so we're also adding dedicated weapon skills, which are special attacks that depend on the weapon type you're using.
Please tell us, how do they work?
Yeah, so players fill a meter by hitting enemies with any attack they have, light attack, heavy attacks, even evade attacks. And once that meter is full, they can trigger the weapon skill. When they are doing those attacks, they have a staggering immunity to all enemies. They are stronger than heavy attacks, and they provide players with mobility or range options. So yeah, they also offer, in some weapons, they also offer AoE, which is what you were looking for.
Yeah, very good. Okay. I know players have been talking about weapon skills specifically for a very long time, including people on Feature Upvote. Shout out Feature Upvote. That should make them very happy.
Yeah, that's the goal. Those are the big new things, but we have a whole bunch of improvements as well.
Okay, let's start with two-handed weapons.
So yeah, for great swords, great axes, and two-handed hammers, we have reworked their movesets based on player feedback. So now the great sword has a more horizontal series of moves, and the great axe and the hammers have a more diagonal motion.
Sounds very good.
Yeah, so we also added iframes to the dodge roll, like it was really requested. So now the dodge roll will have the iframes and will not roll around enemies by default. That is a skill that players have to unlock on the ranger tree. And yeah, we did a change to make sure players could select whether they want that for the class they are creating or not.
Okay, so what you're saying is I won't get my ass whacked when I'm trying to tank the boss anymore.
Exactly, yeah. And speaking of attacking bosses, we are now working on some changes to mid-air attacks, upward slash and the crashdown specifically. So now they are easier to trigger. You use the tap to trigger the upward slash, and you use the hold of the input to trigger the crashdown. Okay,
so speaking of crashing down, I hear we're changing the behavior of attacks near ledges.
Yes. We added some logic to basically prevent players from falling when they execute an attack close to a ledge. That is obviously really beneficial for mages when they are using a spell, but once more it's usable for all weapons. And players can still fall off a ledge if they want to do it on purpose by just moving forward.
Okay, so as a fireball enthusiast, I think this is very cool. I see that there's a bunch of notes about warping. Can you explain what all of that is?
Yes. So warping towards enemies has been tuned down to balance the new attacks. So your character won't magically close the gap as far to make sure their attacks connect. However, we have tuned mid-air warping against flying enemies to make sure the flying attacks hit more reliable. And finally, we have reworked enemy selection when targeting. So now you can use your mouse or your right controller stick.
Okay, I understand there's a few other improvements to enemy behavior, such as like more enemies, but not all, now attempting to dodge projectiles, and also not accidentally hiding in the bushes so much. We haven't got time to cover all of the camera controls and character improvements, but there's a handful that we'll cover in the update highlights video, so watch out for that.
Yeah, there is one that I think is important enough. So yeah, many players reported that during these moments like combat and platforming, they accidentally triggered the glider. So we wanted to highlight that if that happens to you, you can always rebind the glider open key. Just keep it in mind if you change it or you will fall to your death, okay? And yeah, we have also been reworking Aggro to improve enemy target selection. So yeah, that will lead into improved stealth. We plan to basically make sure that Enshrouded can be played by stealth enjoyers, but yeah, we will provide more information about that in the future.
Very good. I can't wait to infiltrate enemy bases, especially that I won't fall off of ledges when I'm using Fireball. Okay, final word?
Yeah, so one final thing, I wanted to say that we haven't forgotten about mage players, okay? We are looking at broadening the range of spells and to offer more crowd control, more AoE damage, and in general, more strategical approach to mages. But that's for the future, so no expected time for that and no promises yet.
Okay, so this is for 1.0 or beyond.
Exactly, yeah. And Enshrouded is gonna keep getting better as time goes on, and you will see what Christoph has to say about progression and gear. You will like it a lot.
Very nice conclusion. Well, everyone, we hope you liked this first look at what we're cooking up for Update 8. Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and David, thanks for your time.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.